I don't know if my tastes are changing or if my cooking skills are improving, or if it's a little bit of both. But I used to really hate tofu. And as I've progressed along in my journey, I've discovered a couple of ways that I don't mind it so much. My tofu scramble kind of does taste like eggs, and I'll eat that. And once in a while I'll crumble it into like a stir fry, a rice and beans and vegetable dish. But the other day I made this tofu and I baked it, and I swear it tasted, it kind of had a consistency and a flavor like a pork loin, and it was a win at our house. It really was. It was just really good. It was something that my husband and I said, let's have this again, and that's never happened before with tofu. So I had taken a picture of it and put it on my Facebook page, Tina Turner Plant Based Recipes, if you're not already following that. And a couple of people did ask about it, and so I'm going to show you how I made that. And I always start with a either firm or extra firm non-GMO, and if I can find organic, then I'll get organic, and this isn't, but it is non-GMO. So I have just opened the package and kind of pressed out the water, just squished it with my fingers. If you've got a tofu press, by all means use that. I don't have one, and this seems to work okay for me. So I just pull it out, and you can either slice it this way to get pieces kind of like a bacon, or maybe a longer strip this way, or you can do it this way and make it like a sandwich size, or like a steak or a pork chop. And I think my husband and I had said we would like it the bigger way this time, because I think I'd done it that way last time. So I'm going to do it this way in case he wants to take it like on a sandwich to work. And basically do it as thin as you can. And let's see how many pieces I can get out of it by doing this. Let's see if it even, yeah, it'll stay together. Where I've really squished it to get the water out, it may break in those pieces, but I think it'll be all right. And so slicing this way, it looks like I should be able to get 4 pieces. I'm going to turn it on its side this way so it'll stay together with those last slices. Hopefully stay together. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I'm trying to be pretty about it. All right, so we've got our slices, and like I said, slice it any way you like. And then I'm going to make a marinade, and I've got a glass pan, and I just do a really simple marinade using what I have in my kitchen. If you want to use a packaged marinade in a bottle, like a teriyaki sauce or something like that, if you found something that you really like, go ahead and use that. What I'm trying to teach you today isn't so much what I put on it, it's the method of cooking it that made all the difference. And so for me, this is what I used last time, and so I'll use it again to recreate. And I've got some balsamic vinegar. Put that in the bottom. And then some soy sauce. And you see I'm not measuring, just using what I've got. And then I'm going to add a little bit of red wine vinegar since I didn't have very much balsamic, just to fill that in a little bit. And that's the red wine vinegar. And then just a little bit of maple syrup. You can use agave or whatever it is that you like. I try to be as natural as possible, and so the plant-based doctors that I follow, Dr. McDougall says, you know, don't really go for agave and that stuff. So I use maple syrup. And then this is just some liquid smoke. And you only want to use a couple of drops of that because it's really, really strong flavor. And then whatever powdered spices you like. This is onion powder. And then paprika. And you can use garlic or, you know, chili powder, whatever you like. You could even just, if you have a barbecue sauce that you make or that you buy, you could do that as well. Any of that would be good. Okay, and then just take your slices and put them in there. So that they get nice and coated. And then, because they all don't fit in there since I cut them this big way, I'm going to let those sit a bit, and then when I pull them out, I'll put the other two, and I'll come back at that point, okay? All right, I have marinated all 4 pieces, and you can leave them in for a couple hours or a couple of minutes. I had gotten most of the water out, and so it soaked up all of that marinade. And I had to actually just mix up just a little extra to make sure that the second 2 pieces were coated very well. And now I'm going to retain the rest of this liquid, and I'll tell you how I do this. I take this on a silicone mat so that they don't stick, sorry, and bake it at 375 for 20 minutes. When I flip it over, I will spread on the rest, or just with a little spoon, the rest of this marinade over the top of that, and then bake it another 20 minutes after I flip them. And then I'm going to show you what they look like when they come out. All right, so stay tuned. All right, so it's baked on the first part. So now I'm going to flip them over, if I can get a hold of them. And see how when I flip them over, there's not as much of the marinade on this second part. Even though it soaked on both sides, you can tell the difference. So what I do then is just take what's left of that marinade and pour it over. You can use a brush or a spoon. I'm just saving time for you because I know you get bored with me if I take too long. Okay, and then I'm going to put it back in 375 for another 20 minutes. All right then, so this is what we've got. Now that was 375 for 20 minutes. Flip them over, put the remainder of the marinade, bake them another 20 minutes, 375, and this is what you get. And I'm gonna cut it and show you the texture inside. And that's why I was saying that it kind of reminded us of a pork loin, which is how I used to fix pork before I went plant-based, and I would do them, cook them all day in the slow cooker. And it's just a really good texture, and the flavor is just spot on. So give this a try and see if you don't give tofu another shot. Okay, have a good day, guys.